Hi everybody, I am going to go over our Brazen Botanicals cleaning kits. I'm going to show you how to put it together, go over the ingredients, and some little tips and tricks that can help you. So if you've ever been interested in our cleaning products, or maybe you have purchased a set and you weren't able to attend one of our meetings where I introduce everything and go over everything, this will be a really helpful video. So we're going to dive right in. We're first going to talk about the different ingredients and what they do. And I do have everything typed out. It's the same thing from some of my posts that I've posted before. If you've seen those, I'm pregnant, so sometimes my brain leaves and my words get away from me. So I just thought that would be an easy way to kind of keep track of it all. So first, let's start out with, I'm going to show you all of the things that are the actual cleaners in the kit. So you have your cleaning concentrate, you have your boost powder, and I'll go over what each of these things do. You have your toilet tabs, your dishwasher tabs, this is going to be your paste. This is your dish soap bar. And lastly, you have your fresh concentrate. So I'm going to push these to the side for now. And we are going to go over the concentrate first, the ingredients. So your concentrate is what makes the bulk of your cleaning products. And when I designed this concentrate, I wanted it to be safe for everybody to use, so safe around the family, safe around pets when used correctly, and safe for, say, pregnancy, people with epilepsy who may experience seizures. I was very mindful of the essential oils that were used and things like that. So, like I said, when used correctly on surfaces and it's wiped up well, and not spraying directly on animals, we're not eating it, those sort of common sense things. This has been used around my entire family for the past almost 2 years now, I would say. We've used it around pets, cats, dogs, rabbits, and all of my children. I've been pregnant this entire pregnancy, and I'm trying to think. I had just had my child when I kind of first designed this, so yeah, I've had no issues with it causing any sensitivities. Something that I had noticed with a lot of other cleaners was my lung sensitivity, so this is very gentle. So we're going to go over the ingredients. So first we have cocoa glucoside. Cocoa glucoside is naturally derived from coconuts, and it is a foaming agent that is ultra mild. It's used in a lot of baby shampoos and body washes and things like that. Decyl glucoside is just the same in a sense. It is a little bit different of a consistency. So it is also naturally derived from coconuts, and it is a foaming agent that is ultra mild. And both of those not only lend to the foaming action, but they also thicken the recipe. So sodium citrate is a natural salt. It is a natural salt of citric acid, if you've ever heard of citric acid, which we'll get to that too. It thickens a formula, and it helps to emulsify. So it helps oils and water mix, and it also softens water. So softening the water allows the soap to work more effectively. So before we go any further, let's go over what that means. What is hard water? We hear a lot of people say, I have hard water or hard water buildup. Hard water is when you may have like old pipes, or for whatever reason, well water, maybe water from the city, but it means that your water has a higher rate of dissolved minerals in it. And what can happen is those minerals can attach to, say, your dishes, make them look cloudy. It can attach to your laundry, which a lot of people have now heard of laundry stripping. That is to get the hard minerals and like the soap buildup and things off of your laundry. But what some of these salts do is they help to bind to those minerals, so it helps to soften the water, allowing them not to stick to your clothes or your dishes, and it allows the soap to more effectively clean without leaving that residue, if that makes sense. So next we have distilled white vinegar. So, most people are used to vinegar, whether it's cooking, cleaning, that sort of thing. It's been used as a natural cleaner for centuries. It helps to lower and balance the pH of formulas so that it's a more neutral cleaner. We'll talk about why that's important here in a little bit. And there's nothing wrong with making homemade cleaners and using, distilled vinegar to clean lots of things, many different applications. Some people just decide that, the smell's not for them, or maybe they need something that's a little less harsh on certain surfaces like granite and marble and some woods and things like that. You need a more pH balanced cleaner. And that's really important because it can etch or ruin the surface of some of those natural stones and things like that. This cleaner is a pH balance cleaner, so the pH falls between about an 8 and a 9 when diluted correctly and the directions are followed. So it is safe for all of those surfaces. That's something that I really wanted when I designed this, and that was one of actually the biggest challenges, was to get the pH correct to where it cleaned well, it smelled good, and it was safe for all of those surfaces. So this is pH balanced. You can use it on a multiple variety of surfaces. I've used it on wood or laminate floors. I've used it on, I have like a marble slab. I have like the Formica countertops, a tile, glass, of course, and lots of cloth. So every surface that there is. And excuse me, I keep like hiccuping. Like I said, I'm pregnant, and so, these are just the woes of pregnancy. So anyways, moving on. The next ingredient is D-limonene. So D-limonene is naturally derived from edible citrus fruits. It is a cold-pressed oil and works as a powerful natural solvent, degreaser, and disinfectant. So D-limonene is amazing. If you've ever pulled the sticker off of something and had that really sticky residue left, it will just absolutely dissolve that in its pure form. But now in the formula, it is a little gentler. It is not, it's mixed in, so it's diluted. But it does do that same thing. It helps to degrease and pull up those kind of oily stains and things like that. So the next ingredient is sodium bicarbonate, which is baking soda. So again, most people are pretty familiar with baking soda and its cleaning applications, but just to kind of go over it, it's also a natural salt used in a variety of cleaning applications for centuries, I would say. So citric acid is another naturally occurring acid that's derived from citrus fruits. It softens water, allowing soap to work more effectively, and it also serves as a powerful stain cleaner, especially for dishes and at lower dilutions for laundry. So then we have our two essential oils that are the spotlight of our cleaning concentrate. Right now we only offer 1 cent, and I'm going to explain why. So we have lemon essential oil and we have thyme essential oil. So this concentrate has a very easy, gentle, clean smell. It is, it has like a citrusy, bright lemon, but then that herbal green clean with it. Now, this is not an overpowering smell by any means, but you can smell the clean, which is nice. The reason why I chose these two essential oils is because lemon is high in D-limonene itself, which is a constituent that is useful as a disinfectant. And then the real spotlight constituent, which that just means basically Have you ever seen, like, on the backs of labels, it says the active ingredient and then inactive ingredients? And the active ingredient is what the product derives its power from. That's kind of what a constituent is with natural essential oils. That just means it's the powerhouse chemical, because chemicals can be natural and they can be synthetic. So these are natural chemicals found in the essential oils that work to provide a specific therapeutic property. In this case, we're using thyme oil for its constituent, thymol. Thymol is used in many of the disinfectants that are out on the market that are your natural disinfectants. It has to be used at a certain rate to achieve disinfectant properties. So when you dilute this properly, you have a bottle called Sani Plus. That's your disinfectant. When you use it properly, dilute it properly, then it has those disinfectant properties. Now, I do not have this, I cannot make any claims about the disinfectant properties, but I will tell you that I made the rate of thymol in this concentrate when diluted properly to be at the same rate, actually just a hair more than most of the natural disinfectants on the market, so that we covered that margin and you're able to get those disinfectant properties. We'll talk a little more about that when we get to that actual cleaning product. So now I am going to go over the rest of them, which will kind of breeze through them a little bit quicker because a lot of them are made with the same ingredients that this is. And for your information, most of these products, or most of these ingredients that are used, they are food grade ingredients. So while I do not recommend anybody to eat these, they are used in food applications, and so this is an incredibly safe product. But I do always put on the packaging, keep away from children and from pets, because we don't want anybody drinking this or eating this by any means. So we're going to roll through some of these, and like I said, we'll kind of skip over the ones that we've already done. So this is your dish soap bar. We'll explain it a little more later. Right now we're just going to do ingredients. So your ingredients are coconut oil, which everybody is pretty familiar with coconut oil these days. Coconut oil in soap is special because it's a hard oil, so it provides a nice hard white soap. And this is kind of a harsher bar. This is not a hand soap bar. This, in soap making, we call there's a term called super fatting, and that means that so much of the fat is left over after the soap saponifies. So after the lye and the oils mix together, there should be a certain fat left over to moisturize your skin. This is sitting at about a 1% super fat. So this is a very low scale on the fats that are left over. Now, this is a great application for dishes because you don't want grease and oil left over with a dish soap bar. So this is great for cutting through grease. One of my favorite things is actually cleaning my bacon. I usually make bacon on like a cookie sheet, so it's great at kind of scrubbing that bacon and cuts right through the grease on the cookie sheet. So the next oil is castor oil. Castor oil is a very thick oil, and in soap making, it actually helps the foaming ability, so it helps to create some of that lather and bubbles. Citric acid, we've already went over that one. D-limonene, we went over that one. Lemon essential oil, we went over that one. And bentonite clay. Bentonite clay kind of gives a little bit of scrubbing power to your soap without leaving like any sort of film. Bentonite clay is naturally mined. It has great properties for the skin and the body, but in this, it works as kind of an exfoliant for your dishes, if that makes sense. So that is our dish soap bar. The scrub, I only wanted to go over this because there is something in the jar already. This is baking soda, that's all it is. And I'll show you how to dilute it later, but you don't have to add, in your first application when you're doing this at home with your kit, you don't have to add any additional baking soda. It's already there for you. Now the next time you go to make it, then you have to add your baking soda. So, the boost powder. So you have sodium carbonate, which is washing soda. So that's a new one on our list. We haven't come to that one yet. Washing soda is a salt. It binds to minerals and it helps remove stains. Then we have sodium bicarbonate or sodium percarbonate, which is actually, so sodium percarbonate is really cool because it is considered a natural product, but it is man-made in the sense with two natural products or natural ingredients. So sodium percarbonate is a reaction that occurs between sodium carbonate, which is the washing soda, and hydrogen peroxide. So once the two are combined, this is formed, and it's really cool because this is like your natural form of OxyClean. It helps to whiten, brighten, deodorize, and helps to destain. It's a great ingredient. It's a powerhouse in the laundry. So your next ingredient is sodium bicarbonate, which is baking soda, and then sodium borate, which is borax. Now, within the crunchy health community, there's a big debate on whether borax is literally the heal-all or whether it's demonized. In my personal studies, I believe that when used correctly, borax is an incredible ingredient. And so what is borax? Borax is a naturally occurring salt. It helps to remove stains, deodorize, and it softens water. So it's a great ingredient in my opinion, and it is very gentle. And then it has D-limonene, which gives it just a little bit of citrus freshness while providing those same stain degreasing properties that we mentioned before. So that one is done. We're almost through the ingredients. So your dishwasher tabs are sodium carbonate, which is the washing soda, sea salt, which that's a new one for this, so most everybody's familiar with sea salt. It also helps to mitigate that hard water buildup in your dishwasher. Then we have baking soda, borax, citric acid, distilled white vinegar, D-limonene, cocoa glucoside, and lemon essential oil. So we've already went over all of those. Our toilet tabs have sodium bicarbonate, which is your baking soda, citric acid, borax, cornstarch. So let's talk about cornstarch. So most people know what cornstarch is, whether you're cooking with it or you're making crafts with it. Cornstarch in these, so these are kind of like bath bombs for your toilet if you've ever used a bath bomb. So the cornstarch helps the tablet kind of float on the water and gives it a little bit of foaming action, and it helps the tablets not to stick to each other when they're all in this bag together. Then we have sodium percarbonate, D-limonene, we have eucalyptus essential oil, and peppermint essential oil. So in this one, I did include a little bit different of the essential oils just because toilets are pretty stinky and we like them to be, kind of a stronger smell. So I went with those for that. And then the last ingredient on here is cocoa betaine. Cocoa betaine is also a naturally derived foaming agent from coconuts. It is more of a liquid than it is more of a viscous, like almost gel type liquid like those other two that I mentioned before. But it is still very gentle, and you don't have to put much in a formula to get that nice foaming action. So there's just a little bit in this to give that foaming action to scrub toilets. So the last thing we have is the freshener concentrate. So your ingredients on this are cocoa glucoside, glycerin. Glycerin's a new ingredient, so most people are familiar with glycerin, but just in case you're not, it is derived from plants. It's usually derived from like coconuts, palm, sometimes it's derived from corn and different things. But it is a natural plant-derived ingredient, and what it does is it kind of helps to emulsify oils and water. So, a lot of people you see, they want a fabric refreshener with essential oils, and if you just put it in water, you're not really going to get that that combining factor that you need. So the cocoa glucoside, the glycerin, and the sodium citrate in this help to combine those essential oils with the water. So you have cocoa glucoside, glycerin, white vinegar, So you may sometimes smell the white vinegar in this, or even like when you spray it, you might get a note of it every now and then. But rest assured, it's a very small amount used in this, and it evaporates very quickly. You don't keep that smell lingering around. You smell the essential oils that are used. But vinegar is great for this because as a freshener spray, it helps to deodorize any odors that are in the air, on the fabric, and as a wrinkle release, it helps to soften those wrinkles. So white vinegar, sodium citrate, which we've mentioned before, and then you're going to have your essential oil blend depending on the scent. So this is the Botanical Breeze scent. So for example, your essential oils used are lavender, sweet marjoram, palmarosa, fir, and cedar. So that will be a different makeup for the Citrus Sunshine. Those are the only two scents that we offer right now, but maybe more in the future, we'll see. Right now, the Botanical Breeze and the Citrus Sunshine, I feel, offers a very, both of them are very popular scents. The Citrus Sunshine is bright, it's citrusy, it's clean. The Botanical Breeze, even though it's kind of like more of like your floral scent, it's not so floral that it's not masculine. Actually, my son prefers it for like spraying on his clothes to de-wrinkle things. It's a good balance between floral and herbaceous with that clean note in it. So, all right. So we are going to get right into diluting. I'm going to start with the concentrate and all of the different products that it makes first. So first I want to start with the glass and stainless steel cleaner. So this is your Shine bottle. It's in a gray boot, so it's easy to remember. Gray, glass, and gray is also that silver color for stainless steel. So you can also use this on like glasses, TV monitors, or computer monitors, TV screens, that sort of thing. So anything that you need a very shiny, streak-free application. So for the glass spray, the only thing that the kit doesn't come with is these two, and most people have measuring spoons. So the glass spray is half a teaspoon per 16 ounces of water. So what you're going to do, I'm going to put it over this so we don't spill. You are going to measure out half a teaspoon. And listen, do not be tempted to put more than this. I know that half a teaspoon for 16 ounces does not seem like much, but I assure you, if you put more than that, your glass spray is going to be streaky. It is going to be too soapy for you to get that streak-free shine. This cleans very well. I have cleaned many stains, many handprints, lip balm, blueberries, hair products, all kinds of stuff off the mirrors in the bathroom and everything. So then you're going to take 16 ounces of water and you're going to pour it in your bottle. Now, I will say, I usually do this with my sink because now I'm really used to diluting my products, and so I kind of just naturally know where the fill line is on the bottles, and I don't really need to measure my water anymore. But in the beginning you might feel more comfortable actually measuring your water out. And the kit also doesn't come with this measuring cup, but again, most people have measuring cups in their cabinet. And you do want to use a liquid measuring cup, not the ones that are like the handle that you scoop, because they do measure differently, if you all were unaware of that. So we now have our concentrate made up. Anytime you mix them, just give them a good little shake to combine it, and that's it. It's ready to use. Now your nozzle will usually be off when you first receive it, so you just turn it to the on. There's spray and then there's stream. That's up to you for your different applications, but that's ready to go. So then let's talk about your all-purpose cleaner. This is probably one of my favorite things in the whole kit. The all-purpose cleaner is excellent. It cleans so well, like I was talking about earlier, on so many different surfaces. Whether you have a spot on the floor that you need to wipe up quick, countertops, your stove, you know, bathroom sinks. We do have the Sani Plus, which is the disinfectant slash bathroom cleaner, but this works on it all. It cuts through grease very, very well. And so this is kind of like your everyday all-purpose for all of those surfaces. I have used it on the stainless steel. So, I mean, it still doesn't leave like a super streaky, you know, film or anything like that. Now, your kit will come with a measuring cup. It has graduated notches on the side. That is your notches in milliliters. So on the bottle, there is a milliliter measurement and an ounce measurement for most everything. I do think that I realized that there was one that didn't have it, and we'll go over that here later, but everything else is pretty, it's laid out very well for you. So your all-purpose spray, you add 20 mLs to 16 ounces of water. So we are going to measure out 20 mLs. And then we're going to measure out 16 ounces of water. Now, when you're doing this from your sink, what I really suggest is putting the water on a very, very low setting, low pressure. That way you do not get a bunch of foaming action and bubbles at the top of your bottle. Some things that kind of can help is to wait to put your concentrate in last. But if you're like me and you kind of realize the fill line of your bottles, and I'm kind of going to show you that here in a minute, but then you might want to put your soap in first and then fill it up. So this one is going to be a more full bottle because my proper English, I'm spacing right now, but this one is going to be more up to the top, and that's because we did put that full 16 ounces in plus that 20 mLs, which is almost an extra ounce. So give it a good shake and it's ready to use. Now, let's go over the Sani Plus, which is your disinfectant slash bathroom cleaner. So for your Sani Plus, you are to add 3 ounces to 13 ounces of water. That was one of the ones that I forgot to put the ml measurements on. So for 3 ounces, an ounce in ml terms is like 28 point something. So I usually round up to 30 mLs. So 90 mLs would be 3 ounces. So we're gonna fill this up to 90 mLs, 90 milliliters. And then we are going to do 13 ounces of water. Now with this one, in the beginning, until you get used to adding the water and the soap, you might want to add the soap last in this one because this is a much more concentrated cleaner, and so this one will get pretty soapy if you use too high of pressure of water, and it will cause a lot of bubbles, and you'll have to wait for the bubbles to go down before you can screw the lid on. So like I said, either just be very gentle when you're pouring, kind of tilt your bottle to the side so that it pours against the glass instead of into the water, and that will also help the foaming action. So we are just going to fill this right up. And since 13 and 3 equals 16, this is going to give you a more accurate view of your fill line on these products. So the 16-ounce fill line is right above where the bottle starts to go in. So that is your 16-ounce fill line right there. So this one we're going to give a really good shake because there's a lot in there. And you'll notice now it's already filled up. There's bubbles, if you can see that, I don't know. But this is now ready to use. So let me explain how you use this real quick. So say a child pukes on the floor. So you want disinfecting action. What I would do is clean up the mess first. So, clean up the puke. And then you're going to spray this on the area, allow it to sit for a few minutes, letting the constituents that we talked about, that thymol, the D-limonene, let all of that sit so it kills the germs, and then you can wipe it up. You can spray it down again if you want, give it a light application, and then just allow it to sit. But I will say that if you want to spray and leave it, you want to apply a lighter application because this is a very concentrated blend. So if you spray it heavily and leave it there, it will kind of have that sticky film to it. It's just a learning curve with natural products. It's different than spraying Clorox on something and just leaving it because it uses chemicals. So, they're able to use less of that foaming action. Okay. Also, this is your bathroom cleaner. So, toilets, showers, all of that stuff that needs a little bit extra foaming action. And of course, you probably want the disinfectant properties for the bathroom. Okay. So, next we're going to talk about our kitchen soap. So you have two different, we talked about this one a little bit earlier. There's two different kitchen soaps here. You can use both of them. Majority of the time I do use this one for my dishes. I will, just pump it directly onto the brush or whatever I'm using to scrub. And then this one, we'll go over it here in just a second. But this is also gentle enough for your hands. Unlike the bar, this is very gentle. You can actually even, if you wanted to purchase like extra bottles yourself or from me, you can set them in your bathrooms. A lot of people like the foaming soap in the bathrooms. I like the foaming soap because my kids often waste soap. So I feel like the foaming soap goes a little bit further. But for your kitchen soap, you are going to do 3 ounces per 9 ounces. So you can measure it out, but I'm going to show you how I do it because I'm used to it now. So right here, there are some marks, and all of your bottles have the marks on them. So it has a 4 right here. Well, the mark below it is a 2. So we want 3. So we're going to go in between that 2 and that 4 mark because this is in ounces on this ball mason jar. So that is 3 ounces of your concentrate. And then this up here is 12. So that would be 9 ounces of water if you add it to that 12 mark. And boom, it is done. You put your lid on. You give it a good swirl. Let me see how foamy it already got. Now, let's talk about one thing with this. So this is your only, my kids just woke up, I was telling them. So this is your only clear bottle that you have besides your laundry detergent. And so if you ever see any kind of settling down here, like white, maybe sediment, just know that that's normal. Sometimes with natural products, even though the extraction process is the same, you never know what variants might change, the oil content for the growing season or whatever. If that occurs, just give it a good swirl. Most of the time, I haven't noticed that. I had only noticed that when I had changed some of the ingredients that I had sourced, but it's pretty consistent now. So I'm gonna just pump this so that you can see the foam that you have. So that is a good, nice foam there. It's a great foam. this can be used, like I said, for your dishes, your hands, and something that we will also go over a little bit later is a few more applications for it. So with your soap bar, there are these neat little ramekins at Walmart. They're $1.98. I think it's the Better Homes and Gardens brand that makes them, but these fit perfectly. They drop right down in those dishes. I don't know where mine is right now, or I would show you, but once they're in there, what you want to do is you want to get your dish soap brush, or whichever one you're using, doesn't have to be this one. You want to get it wet, damp, not dripping. You can kind of tap the excess water off before you do it. And then you want to prime your bar. You just want to suds it up really good. If it's completely dry, you may want to give it a good scrub, just get it good and soapy. And then from there, you can use it. You can leave it sitting on top of your bar when you're done. Like I said, just tap that excess water off. You can put it to the side, up like that, whatever. Just don't leave this sitting in don't leave it sitting in standing water, because that will make it a goopy mess. These bars should last you a pretty good while. They are a very hard bar. It does not take much. So once you get that soap bar primed and you get through that first dry layer, then it doesn't take much at all, because this is basically like a concentrate of a bottle of soap. There's no water, so you know it doesn't look like a lot, but it's the concentrate of it. So we're gonna move on to the scrub, and then we'll get to laundry. So the scrub is pretty nifty. You can do 1 tablespoon of concentrate and 1 tablespoon of water. Make sure it's turned way down, okay? Way down. Way down. All right. Of course, my kids want to wake up early the morning that I decide to do this. And yes, sleeping on the couch. Came in from the water park last night, and that is where they crashed. Sometimes they're in our bed, sometimes they're on the couch. Okay. So you'll see that this makes a nice creamy consistency paste once you've got it all good and mixed in. Now, if you want a full jar, you can actually do double the amount. So you can do a whole cup of baking soda and an ounce of the concentrate and an ounce of water, and that will give you a full jar of this. But if you want to do that, what I suggest doing is pouring it into a different bowl to mix, and then taking like spatula and scooping it into here, because it will be very full. So it's very hard to mix in this jar if you want a full jar. Now, what your scrub does is it's great for like tile lines. It's really great for like flat cooktop stoves, anything that needs exfoliating, so scrubbing. Any kind of like, just like a surface stain that maybe kind of like giving you trouble getting off, you can take this scrub and just use a very small amount and just kind of scrub it off with a little like washcloth, or you can even take your fingers and do it. I wouldn't suggest that you all the time have your fingers like in it, just using it, because even though they're natural ingredients, they still can be harsh on the skin. When used properly though, they're not. Like I was one of those people that got red, really dry knuckles in the wintertime, especially the amount of hand washing that I do making products, and this soap has been a saver for my knuckles. Okay, I did say that we were going to do the laundry next, but I think I'm actually going to save the laundry for last. So let's place our items in our jars. So the way that I like to do the jars is there are 2 seams, and then the word is centered between those 2 seams. I like to turn this to where the opening is on the seam. That's up to you. You can put it in the front however you want. This does move on the top. So your dishwasher tabs, go in your dishes jar. Now with the dishwasher tabs, I have put them to the test. I have done many loads of dishes without pre-rinsing just to see its cleaning capability. I typically do pre-rinse my dishes, and I do recommend that because that will give you the best clean. But you only need one. I have tossed two in some loads, but really one is pretty sufficient. I personally like to toss them directly into the bottom of the dishwasher instead of the actual compartment, but you can do either, whichever one you like. So these clean very well, and like I said, just grab and go. Guys, please be nice to each other and be quiet, okay? All right, so that's the dishes. And then we'll talk about your toilet tabs. So this is your jar that says flush. So toilet tabs are kind of a pain to make because if there's any humidity in the air, they can turn out really funky looking. Some of these turn out really great. Some of them get like kind of stuck together. You can just pluck them apart. But these ones are a batch that turned out really nice looking. They're very uniform. They're appealing. Sometimes they do not turn out so well. They look really funky. I'm trying to think if I have maybe another batch that looks weird, but if there's any humidity in the air when you make them, they expand, and so they can look pretty strange, but it doesn't affect their ability to clean. It just makes them look a little different. Turn it down just a little bit more, Bellamy, please. So these are your toilet tabs. You drop them in your toilet bowl. I would say, you know, in my household, I have a lot of boys. Turn it down just a little bit more, Bellamy, please. I have boys, lots of kids, so deep cleaning toilets, scrubbing the bowls, usually about once a week. Sometimes we can get away with maybe 2 weeks, but I do like to clean weekly with this if we don't use the toilet tab. But I do think that to clean the toilet bowl, what works best is to spray the entire toilet and the inside rim of the bowl down with your Sani Plus spray, and then drop in your toilet tab so that it can sit for about 5 minutes, and then scrub out your entire toilet bowl. Hey sissy, turn it down just a little bit more, please. Just a little bit, okay? Thank you. All right, so let's go over your freshener spray. So the fresh spray, you have 2 bottles in this. You want to give it a really good shake before. Now that's because, yeah, that's fine. That's because of the essential oils in this. So it gets 30 milliliters. Yes, baby. Yeah, I'll give you some honey in just a minute, okay? Okay. So that is your 30 mLs. We're going to put it right in here. You can see that this is pretty thick. It's a very concentrated blend. The Botanical Breeze is very thick compared to the Citrus Sunshine. So if you ever get both, don't be alarmed that they're 2 different consistencies. The reason for that is that some essential oils just cause a different thickness with different ingredients. So I was just pouring this in here to kind of get the rest of what was left from that concentrate. I was just kind of giving it a swirl, but we need 15 ounces of water because we did 1 ounce of concentrate. So 15 ounces of water, that's good. It's pretty rinsed out now. So now we're gonna fill this up to 15. And then this one we will fill up. Now, with your other cleaners that we've diluted thus far, you want to shake it that first time to get your concentrate mixed into your water. But after that, you don't have to shake it. However, with this one, you do want to shake it every time before each use. And the reason is because your scent is derived from essential oils with this one. And I'm actually going to put a little bit more because I think I eyeballed that a little less. We're not up to the fill line yet. And there we go. Now we're up to the fill line. So the essential oils are obviously an oil, and this doesn't have as much of the emulsifying ingredients that the concentrate does. So, because you don't want a lot of soapy residue left on fabric. So your emulsifying action comes from the glycerin, the sodium citrate, and the cocoa glucoside. But you do want to give it a shake every time before you use it, just like that, no big deal. 1, 2, 3, just because that'll disperse those essential oils so that you really get a good spray. So the fresh spray can be used for air freshener. It can be used to spray on your couches. Say your pets were laying on them, you have company coming over, you want to spray on your couches to freshen things up. And like if you have a shirt that's wrinkly, you can lay the shirt out flat, spray it on there, and kind of take your hands and, get the wrinkles out. Or alternatively, you can spray it on the shirt and then give it a good shake a few times, and that will get the wrinkles out. This works really well for wrinkle release and air freshener and fabric freshener. It's a great product for that. Yes, baby. After we eat, okay? And everybody's awake. All right. So let's go over, since we're on the idea of freshening, let's go over your wool dryer balls and the essential oil blend. So the essential oil blend, depending on what scent you have, it's the same essential oils that is used in your freshener concentrate. So this one is the Botanical Breeze, so it's the same essential oils. You can use this essential oil however you want. It's literally just essential oils, so you can put it in a humidifier. This is just a sample size that comes with the cleaning kit, so you can put it in a humidifier, a diffuser, an essential oil diffuser. Some humidifiers do have that option these days, but you can put it in a diffuser if you want to use it as fresh air concentrate. You can dilute it into oil and use it as a body oil. You can do a lot with essential oils. This is just plain essential oils. However, for the sake of the cleaning kit, I put them in here for the wool dryer balls. So if you've never used wool dryer balls, they're great for reducing drying time, for reducing static, making your dryer more efficient. But I will recommend to you that if you use them, you pull them out every time. You do not put your clothes in a basket and just let them pile up, because then you lose your dryer balls and you can't use them. So the best thing to do with the dryer balls is to put them in at the beginning of the cycle. We're going to go over laundry smells here in just a minute, but this is not going to give you like a really strong smell like, say, a dryer sheet would. It's going to soften and reduce drying time, kind of like a dryer sheet naturally, but it's not going to give that smell. Now, if you really want some sort of smell on your clothes, you can take these balls out right at the end of the cycle, and you can place about 5 drops on each of the balls and let them sit for a few minutes so that the essential oils soak into them. Essential oils are volatile, so that means that they evaporate with heat. So if you put them in at the beginning of the cycle, the essential oils really evaporate right off. You're not going to smell them. If you want any sort of scent left on your clothes, you can put them in the last 5 minutes of your drying cycle, and that will freshen things up and you will still smell that smell. Otherwise, like I said, helps to reduce drying time, reduce static, helps dry clothes more efficiently. A natural alternative to dryer sheets, and they're reusable. So now we have come to the laundry portion, which is another favorite part of mine. So the laundry bottle is really cool because when I had planned this, I didn't really want to have to like measure laundry detergent and pour it in with a cup. I had gone back and forth between powder laundry detergent, liquid laundry detergent, but I felt like everybody really liked liquid, and I personally prefer liquid. So this is actually a liquor pourer. It's an automatic liquor pourer like what they use at the bars. But it works really well for this laundry bottle, which is also what would be considered a liquor bottle. So when you first get your laundry bottle and you put your first detergent in it, you have to prime your top. I'm going to show you how to do that, and after that you don't have to worry about it. It's primed, it's ready to go. But no, not right now. Not right now. Later. Yeah. So the laundry detergent gets 6 ounces. Six ounces of concentrate. And then it gets 18 ounces of water. So, for those of you all mathing that right now, because I know you're just so eager and wanting to know, that's 24 ounces. Now, when you're, when it dilutes your hey, Sophia, take those off and stop being loud, please. Take those off. That is 24 ounces. Each dispensing amount is 1 ounce, which that's what you use for your laundry detergent, is 1 ounce. So you have 24 loads. Bellamy, hold on just a minute, baby. I need to finish this real quick, okay? All right. So, like I said, just like with those other bottles, it's right about the point that it starts coming up. I'm just kind of getting rid of some of these bubbles real quick. My hands are clean. They were clean before we started this. Just so I can finish pouring this water in there. With the laundry detergent, I do suggest you pour in the soap last, because I'm showing you what happens if you don't. If you pour in the soap first and then you pour in the water, it just makes a big bubbly mess while you're trying to fill it. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to get rid of a few more of those bubbles so I can put the lid on. Okay, there we go. So you pop the lid on, and it won't go all the way down. You just want it to where it's tight, okay? So that's usually the last notch. These are graduated tops so that they fit different size bottles, not just one neck size. So that's why it doesn't push all the way down. So with this one, you do want to give it a good swirl. And I say swirl because it'll get really bubbly if you just shake it. So good swirl. And then there are actually, I'm going to take this back off so you can see. There are actually two little balls right here in this mechanism. To prime it, you are going to turn it up, and that first ball will drop down in, and then it'll drop back down when you flip it back, and then it's primed, and that's it. From there forward, it should work properly. Sometimes these tops do go bad after some use. You can always purchase more on Amazon, but I will say that unless you buy them in bulk, it is cheaper to get them from me. I don't say that as like you have to buy it from me, or I'm trying to make money off of you from buying them from me. I'm just saying because I buy them in bulk, I can offer them at a lower price than most of the ones on Amazon that you see, without having to, get 50 of them or 10 of them yourself. So, but usually these last for quite a while. I think mine went out after like almost a year's worth of use. So, rhyme reason that they go out, I don't know. Now, say one doesn't work when you first get it, or it goes out within the first couple of weeks, please let me know and I'll replace it for free, no big deal. So, to prime your bottle, you are going to put your finger over the end. You are going to turn it all the way up. That ball will drop down, and then you turn it back, and that ball will return when you let your finger off. Now, your bottle is now primed. It is ready to use. I'm going to show you how it works. So from now on, when you do your laundry, your little liquid compartment, you will just turn your bottle over at about a 45-degree angle. So just like this, and then it stops. And when it stops, you have your one load amount. And just so everybody can see, it is 30 mLs. Looks like a little more because of the foam top, but it's 30 milliliters, 1 ounce. So I've put this laundry detergent to quite a bit of test. Stinky dogs, stinky kids, sports attire, all kinds of stains, and it works really, really well, even at just 1 ounce. Now, if you really feel in your heart of hearts that you've got a really stinky load and you really need 2 ounces, you can do that for like extra large loads and really stinky loads. That's fine. But I have, like I said, put it to the test with extra large loads and stinky loads, and usually 1 ounce suffices. So maybe even try it out with 1 ounce, and then if you're like, oh, no, it really needed a little more, then next time. But there's no sense of wasting product if it works well and the lower amount works, then it'll go further. So, to also go along with your laundry, we're going to talk about the boost powder. Now, the boost powder does have more applications than just laundry alone, but mainly the boost powder is your natural version of OxyClean and stain remover. So your boost powder goes in your, you guessed it, your boost jar. And when you go to use your boost powder, you do 1 level spoon. So 1 level spoon, put it inside your drum, not in your like little liquid compartment. You put it inside the laundry drum. 1 scoop is plenty enough. If I've done cloth diapers, something really stinky, then I've done 2 scoops, but 1 scoop is usually enough. Do the pre-soak cycle if you know that you have clothes that are stained, or alternatively, you can treat the stain before you put it in the wash. Now, I am working on a stain concentrate that will be in a bottle like this, because you can make stain remover very easily at home with literally water, hydrogen peroxide, and Dawn dish soap. However, I feel like if you put Dawn dish soap in it, that kind of defeats the purpose of, all natural everything. You cannot just mix my concentrate with water and hydrogen peroxide, because this does have vinegar, and you can't mix vinegar and hydrogen peroxide. Bellamy, we're not going to do that right this second, because you're going to cause a lot of noise, okay? If you want to build that, go to the playroom for the moment, okay? I'm almost done with this video, baby. We'll talk about that in a minute. Hold on. No. In just a minute, okay? Hold on, Mommy's almost done. So you can't just use this concentrate. I am working on something that will be a alternative for a spray, a pre-stain spray that will be, one simple step to eliminate stains. But for now, what you can do is take a little bit of boost powder, sprinkle it on the shirt or whatever fabric that you're needing to remove the stain from, and then you take your Sani Plus. You spray where you put the powder really good and moisten it. Allow it to sit for 5 to 10 minutes. Then you can take an old toothbrush or a gentle brush and agitate the fabric. Go with all of the grains. Go long ways, go horizontal, vertical, horizontal, diagonal. Just really scrub it in there without, tearing up your fabric. Be easy, but, scrub it. and then toss it into the wash like you normally would. Now, I will say, I just did a test here recently, and I never did upload the video for it, but I tested ketchup, soy sauce, olive oil, grass stain, highlighter, permanent marker, a couple other things. And one of the things I did them exactly the same on a tea towel on both of them. And I did one where I pre-treated with the boost powder and the Sandy Plus spray and scrubbed it. And then I did another where I did absolutely nothing to it. I put them both in the wash with the pre-soak cycle. So they did still get the boost powder in the wash with the pre-soak cycle, and I put it on a regular wash cycle after that. You know, no like Sandy wash cycle or anything like that where it's really long, really hot, just the regular. And I was surprised at the results because almost both towels looked the same. So that means that just the laundry detergent and the boost powder together worked almost just as well as me scrubbing the stain. So that was amazing results in my opinion. The one thing that was definitely a noticeable difference was the permanent marker spot, the one that I scrubbed with the boost powder. It was almost gone. Had I scrubbed and it was almost like a spot that I missed because the whole thing, it was completely gone. It wasn't even like a faded spot, but there was one spot that I missed and it was still there. However, on the one that I didn't pre-treat, it did not disappear. It did fade. So I thought that was pretty cool because, you know, a lot of times you cannot get pen or permanent marker out of clothing. So that was really awesome. So the last thing that I want to go over is using your concentrate for floors. So I do not recommend putting this product in one of the machines like the Bissell, the Crosswave, the Tenco, that is a machine that is powered, like one of the vac mop combos, that sort of thing. I do not recommend that. However, if you have like a Swiffer spray mop that's like a manual thing, that might be okay, things like that, but none of your machines. You know, I might play with that personally myself, but I can't recommend, you know, you put it in a $200 machine because a lot of the times those machines take specific formulas, specific foaming action, and if you over foam that machine, it could ruin it. So, for traditional mopping, you can put 5 mLs into a bucket. So 5 mLs is 1 teaspoon in a bucket of a gallon of warm water. Or if you need heavier mopping, you can do 2 teaspoons. Don't be tempted to put more than that. Even a tablespoon is way too much. That's originally what you were recommending with the test group, and it was kind of streaky and soapy. So 5 mLs, you'll get a good streak-free shine. And even like my floors get pretty dirty, and I can usually just do a teaspoon in the water and it'd be fine. If you have pet messes that you're cleaning up on the floors, you can put the boost powder in your mop bucket water and dissolve it really well. That helps to deodorize so that pets don't return to that smell. And you know, use the bathroom again. Now, if it's on carpet, you can sprinkle it, spray it with the Sani, you know, scrub it, suck it up with a shop vac, whatever, you know, but that's great for pet deodorizing. And then the other application with the floors, say you had like a Swiffer or something like that, that you have like the reusable just cloths that go on the bottom without the detergent on it, you can always use your all-purpose spray. So this one, your green, you can use your all-purpose spray. You can spray the floor itself and get your pad wet and then mop it up like that. So there are different ways. That's on the bottle. It does explain that, but again, do not use it in your powered machines. Something else before we move on to the fruit and vegetable wash, boost powder. If you have really tough grout lines, like I talked before about the paste, the boost powder will perform a little bit better lifting action, so you can always use that for grout lines. Anything that's super stuck on the flat top stoves, you can always sprinkle a little bit, spray the Sandy Plus, let it sit for a while, then scrub those flat top stoves. The boost powder is just basically like a more hyped up version of the paste. So if you do need to go to that next level, the boost powder, and you can even make paste out of the boost powder. You can just kind of like mix some water in with it. Another thing with the dish tabs is if you have like a skillet that you like burnt the bottom of, like that black that's really hard to scrub through, fill it up with hot water, drop one of these bad boys in it, and it will help to soften that. Or alternatively, you can put a little scoop of boost in it and allow it to sit for a while and then scrub it. So last but not least, one really awesome thing about this, and I went over it earlier, most all of these ingredients are food safe and even food derived ingredients. So all of the ingredients that are found in our concentrate are often found in all of the natural alternatives to the fruit and veggie washes and sprays. So you can use this as a fruit and veggie wash or spray. So to soak fruits and veggies, you can add a few pumps of the kitchen soap to a bowl with your fruits and veggies. That's probably my favorite way to use it, is using this, because I feel like it goes the furthest. You just put a few pumps in the water and then allow your stuff to sit and soak before rinsing. Or you can add half a teaspoon of concentrate into like a really large bowl, or say you're filling your sink, so more a bigger amount, because a half a teaspoon is very bubbly. And then say you just want to wash like one apple or one tomato, you can always do a pump of the kitchen soap, which is fine. Or you can take your all-purpose or your Sani Plus and you can spray the apple or the tomato and just kind of give it a gentle rub and rinse it underneath the water. So that's about it. All of this comes in the cleaning kit, which I don't think I can get it all in this frame, but I hope that you found that helpful for those of you all who were unable to attend our cleaning meeting, or maybe you've been thinking about getting a cleaning kit, but you just weren't for sure how it worked. It's super easy. Once you do it a couple of times, I have it all memorized. I don't even really have to look at the bottle anymore. And just to give you an idea, we filled everything up once, and you still have over a half a bottle. So that's like your overflow for extra bottles of all-purpose, because everybody always uses more than one of those in a month usually. And then your floors, your dish, you're washing your fruits and veggies. But for my family, I usually go through one of these in about a month. So we have 7 people in our home. We do lots of laundry, and this is sufficient for me. Lots of dishes, lots of laundry, lots of cleaning. And then, for like a 2-person home, if you got the 32-ounce bottle, it may last you 3 or 4 months. I also do have 16-ounce bottles for those smaller homes. And so yeah, a family of about 4 to 6 could probably, or 2 to 4 could get away with one of these bottles every 2 months. 6 to 8, maybe 1 month supply, just as a general. It's obviously going to fluctuate for each family for their needs, but I kind of wanted to design something with a month supply in mind, for at least a month. So like I said, 24 loads of laundry. You'll get at least 2 bottles of laundry detergent, at least 2 bottles of pumping the kitchen pump soap, probably about 4 bottles of your all-purpose, 4 bottles of your glass cleaner, 2 to 3 bottles of your Sani Plus. The concentrate comes with 2 bottles in 1 concentrate bottle. So like I said, about a month's supply for that size family. If anybody has any questions or any sort of comments or anything, you can always message me personally about the cleaning kits. For now, I do them on pre-order because it's just easier for me to buy the supplies in bulk like that. But hopefully in the future, we'll get to a point where I can just keep them in stock rotation and people can buy them at their convenience. But I hope this video was helpful. I know it was long, but just to go over everything thoroughly, I felt like, this was the best way to cover it. So this is something that was near and dear to my heart. I've tried many other companies, and while they were great, there was always something that I had a plight with, something that I could pick and didn't like, whether it was the price point or the fact that I had to order so much a month, or some of the ingredients. There was always something, and so I really just wanted to make something that I felt comfortable with, ingredient-wise, a good price point, and something that truly worked. That was really important to me, and all of this really works. I was a residential house cleaner for many years. I cleaned neighbors and families' houses and friends, and then I also worked with a residential painting company and cleaned some of those houses and everything. So, I feel like if I wouldn't use it as a cleaning lady or a cleaning person, and it didn't clean to those standards, then, I wouldn't want it. So all of that went into mind. Safety went into mind as far as, if a kid picks up and decides to drink this, again, please keep it out of the reach of children and pets. But I couldn't imagine that a kid would drink much more than a sip of it. It does not taste good. I have tasted it for the sake of tasting it. But if so, it's not one of those things that, if they drink a teaspoon of it or if they drink a swig of it, that it's like super, super dangerous. These are, again, most of them food-derived ingredients. But saying that, I still don't want your kids to drink or eat it. So please keep it up from them. Yeah, so hopefully all points were covered. Hopefully you found this helpful. And, I think we all need to get back to using things that are clean, that are safe for our families, and most importantly, using the things that God put here, because, so much of this stuff out here, the chemicals and fragrances and everything, is endocrine disrupting, which means it messes with our hormones and everything, which is really important for growing children. Not only growing children, everybody, but you really don't want to mess up the endocrine system for young children. I mean, that affects their reproductive organs and everything. And on that note, I did forget to say, laundry detergent. Some of you all may have seen the graphic that I made, but big companies have convinced us that a clean is a smell. Clean is not a smell. Clean is actually the lack of smell, the lack of dirt, the lack of grime. So with our laundry detergent, the one thing that is different is it is not going to leave like a super strong smell on your clothes. I would even consider this really for like people with sensitive skin, eczema, and that sort of thing. I would really even consider this a unscented laundry detergent. This is gentle enough to use on babies. Obviously, everybody is different and everybody has individual allergies and things like that. So if you do notice any skin irritation, please discontinue use, that sort of thing. That goes without saying. That's common sense. But this is very gentle and, like I said, almost unscented. And here's why. We talked about earlier when I was talking about the essential oils and the wool balls. No. When we were talking about the essential oils, that they're volatile, so that means they evaporate off. So the laundry detergent, Saphira, honey, please stop. Please, I am almost done. I'm wrapping up right now. Children, they've lost the patience, but we're almost done. So with the same thing with the laundry detergent, those essential oils are volatile, so that means that they will evaporate. So you may notice some of that lemony herbal scent when you take the clothes out of the wash machine, but once they come out of the dryer, almost all of that essential oil smell is gone because it has gone through that hot drying cycle and all of those essential oils have evaporated. So everything else that is in here is usually found in your unscented, your sensitive skin laundry detergent, and even less. The ingredients on this, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ingredients. 10 once you add your water. That's pretty low on the amount of ingredients on any list of laundry or anything. So Like I said, very clean. This is not greenwashed. Very transparent as to all of the ingredients that are used, why we use them, you know, that sort of thing. So, again, I hope that you found this helpful. I think I've said that like 3 times now, but I am going to get off of here. And like I said, if you have any questions or you're interested in our cleaning kits, please let me know. I can always put you on the list to notify you when we do our next pre-order. And I hope that you all have wonderful days, you know, whenever you're watching this, and that it is a blessed one. And I will talk to you all later.